Hi, fourth graders. Today we're going to practice main idea and supporting details, but this time there's going to be a detail in the passage that doesn't fit with the rest of them. And so we're going to do some detective work and see if we can figure out which one does not belong. The first thing we're going to do is just review finding the main idea, except we're going to do it in a little different way. So there are 4 different sentences here, and we have to figure out which one is the main idea and which statements are the details. So the first one is, if you need a guard dog, dachshunds are great at barking at suspicious sounds. Okay, the next sentence, dachshunds have many great qualities that make them the ideal pet. The next one is, most dachshunds are lovable, loyal, and playful. And the final one is, dachshunds don't shed very much, so they're easy to clean up after. All right, so as I was reading this, I heard definitely what the topic of this passage would be. It'd be dachshunds because they were mentioned in every sentence. Okay, but if this was a paragraph written about dachshunds, what would be the main idea? Is it that they're great at barking at suspicious sounds? Is that what all the details would be about? Or is it that they have many great qualities that make them the ideal pet? Is it that dachshunds are lovable, loyal, and playful? Does that cover them also barking at suspicious sounds? I don't think it does. And the last one, dachshunds don't shed very much, so they're easy to clean up after. So when I'm thinking about this, I would say that this one is a detail because barking at suspicious sounds was only mentioned once. Lovable, loyal, and playful, okay, that doesn't cover each of the details, so it couldn't be the main idea. And the whole thing wouldn't be about shedding because that's not mentioned in any of the other sentences. So my guess here is I would say that this one, and the last one are the details, and this one would be the main idea. Dachshunds have many great qualities that make them the ideal pet. Okay, the great qualities are they bark at suspicious sounds, they're lovable, loyal, and playful, and they don't shed very much and are easy to clean up after. So just a little different way of trying to find a main idea. In this paragraph, there is one detail that doesn't belong, and so I want you to listen and see if you can figure out which one it is. Women's gymnastics is a very popular sport to watch during the Olympics. The girls compete on 4 different events: uneven bars, balance beam, vault, and floor. Men's gymnastics has 6 different events. While the women's floor routine is to music, the uneven bars, balance beam, and vault are not to music. Okay, well, when I think about what would the topic of this be, okay, I think it is women's gymnastics, because the details, like this one says the girls and women's floor routine. Okay, the sentence that doesn't belong does not fit with information about women's gymnastics. So that would be this one right here. Men's gymnastics has 6 different events. That sentence does not belong because it does not tell us about women's gymnastics. Okay, let's try another one. This paragraph, there's a main idea and supporting details, but one of the details in this passage does not belong and is not a true supporting detail. All right, many different shapes are considered quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral is any shape that has 4 sides. A quadrangle is any shape that has 4 angles. Squares, rectangles, rhombi, and trapezoids are some examples of quadrilaterals. Pentagons, hexagons, and octagons are not considered quadrilaterals because they do not have 4 sides. All right, thinking about one word that I heard a lot, and it's kind of a mouthful to say, is quadrilaterals. So this is my topic. Here it is again and again. Okay, now this one was mentioned, a quadrangle. Okay, that is not a quadrilateral because it's talking about angles. So a quadrilateral is any shape that has four sides. Yes, that fits with many different shapes are considered quadrilaterals. Squares, rectangles, rhombi, and trapezoids are examples of quadrilaterals. That fits with the main idea. And so does the last one. The one that does not fit is this one, a quadrangle. That's just a random detail that was put in here, but it has nothing to do with the main idea. Many different shapes are considered quadrilaterals. Let's try another one, except this time, when I'm done reading the passage, I want you to pause the video and I want you to write down or highlight which one does not belong, which sentence is not a detail to go with the main idea. Violins and violas are very similar. Both of them are string instruments that you might find in an orchestra. You also could find a cello in an orchestra. Violins and violas both have four strings that you play by using a bow or by plucking. Also, they are both played by being held between the shoulder and chin. Okay, I'd like you to pause the video, and on a piece of paper, I would like you to write down what the topic is, and then I want you to think about the main idea and which of the details in the passage does not belong. Please pause the video now and see if you can come up with the answers. Now that you've had some time to think about this paragraph and what the topic would be and the main idea, so I heard these words, violins and violas. Violins, here it is again, violins and violas. The word both tells me that it's about both of them. And then it says also they are both played by being held between the shoulder and chin. So this paragraph is mostly about violins and violas and how they are similar and also maybe how they are different. But there's a sentence in here that does not fit. Okay, so I do remember seeing this word and wondering how does that fit with a paragraph about violins and violas. So the sentence that does not fit is this one. You could find a cello, also find a cello in an orchestra. That would only fit if this entire paragraph was about an orchestra instead. But it wasn't about an orchestra. It's about violins and violas and how they are similar. Next, you're going to click on Add Response, and you're going to do a main idea activity about reindeer.